Alrighty, on to the next section here. So now let's do a little bit of VA myth busting. First one, 0 down equals weak buyer. VA loans are harder to get through underwriting. VA loans take longer to close. The seller has to pay the veteran's fees, and you can only have one VA loan at a time, and VA appraisals are tougher. These are all myths, and so in this video, we're going to do some quick myth busting. First one, that 0 down is a weak buyer. There's a really interesting statistic from 2019. 83% of veterans use their VA benefit after the active duty. 29% of veterans VA are old, 25 or older have at least a bachelor's degree in 2018. As you can see, that's the same as civilian population, so that's very good. Median household income, I did not know this, it's very interesting that for veterans it's $73,769 versus $51,048, and that's in Ohio. And over 481,000 veterans have a service-connected disability, which means no funding fee, as you saw in that last video. And so there's the same things. Median FICO 718, median liquid assets over 16,000, median household income again 73,000 plus. Average loan amount $253,000 nationwide, which is well higher than the civilian because they have higher incomes and they're often putting 0 down, so of course they can get more money. But even still, 28% of veterans voluntarily made a down payment because they wanted to reduce that funding fee. So who is the stronger buyer? So buyer A, median FICO score 680, median household income 55,755, or an average loan amount 195.68. Or buyer B, FICO score 718, household income 73,000, average loan amount 259,687. We'll pause a minute and think, okay, if you're getting 2 offers without knowing what type of loan it is, which one would you think was the stronger buyer? We'll pause for a minute. I'm going to play a little Jeopardy music. I should do that in post-production here. Well, guess what? For 2018, the first one was an FHA buyer. The second one is the VA buyer. So as you can see, the VA buyer is definitely stronger in that scenario. So that myth is busted. VA loans are harder to get through underwriting. Here's another common myth of VA loans. But here's something you don't know. It's from the VA Lender Handbook that underwriters are encouraged to consider to every possible appropriate factor in seeking a proper basis for approving a loan application for every qualified veteran. As long as lenders document their reasoning, it's extremely unlikely that the VA staff would ever take issue with their decision. So what does this mean? It means that as long as you can explain something, you can't go with a 400 credit score and everything delinquent. That's not possible. But most lenders have overlays on that. That's not possible. But maybe that guy with a 640 score that maybe lost their job has a really good reason. And you can see there was a short-term period of loss that caused some situations to happen. As long as it can be documented and proven that it's not going to happen again, then the underwriter is willing to consider that on a manual underwrite. So why do lenders want to do VA loans? So these are defaults, in other words, foreclosure rates. I'm not sure what year this is from, but on a VA loan, it's 0.89% foreclosure rate, which is excellent. And by the way, the lenders actually get paid more because of the lender protection, as you can see on the right side. And so on conventional loans, 1.1%. FHA, worst of the three, 4.4% default rate. What's the other reason? It looks great for lenders and their public image. People want to loan money to veterans. If you were a lender, wouldn't you want to loan money to veterans? Absolutely. So lender protection, this is in case there is a foreclosure, does the lender get paid? How does that work? in particular, with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they don't get any protection at all. With FHA, possibly, but there is guaranteed coverage on VA, which is great. So lender's protected, very low foreclosure rate. So it's a very great deal for the lender to do VA loans. So these are overlays by lender. So an overlay is a rule that's placed on top of the rules that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, VA, FHA put into place. They all have basic rules into place, and then lenders will put overlays on top of them. And so you can see conventional FHA have a lot more overlays from the lender to try to protect their risk. VA has the least of all three. VA is very flexible. It's a very flexible product, which is what I love about it. The other thing to notice is 99% of all lenders have automatic underwriting authority. Average turn time for application close in 2018 is 24 days. My stats personally pretty much match those numbers. What I've noticed is my loans that are VA loans always end up closing well before the contract date. The loans I have with contract issues are always the FHA loans. So that myth is definitely busted. Now in the next video, we're going to go through the rest of those myths.